All right, getting things set up here. Give me a couple of minutes and we will start talking about this. We'll post some links up to the live broadcast now that I've got this up and running here. If I can. Why am I not finding any of the posts I made? This is a little concerning. I appreciate your guys' patience with me here. We'll start talking about this here in just a couple of minutes. A few more to track down here. Should not take me too long. Every place where I posted I was going to go live, I'm trying to go back in and make a comment with a link to the live post or the link to the live broadcast. All right, appreciate the patience. Let's see what we got going on here. Man, I got 8 viewers already. I apologize for keeping you guys waiting, but appreciate the patience. Let's see what we got going on here. Okay. So first up, let's talk about Mike Hora's comment. Just want to know it's going to be worth throwing my money away. I could probably find more useless ways to spend my money if needed. Here's the thing. I think it's going to be a playable game, but right now I would say let's wait and see. They have already got a patch out for PlayStation. The Xbox one, I'm being told, is probably going to happen tomorrow because I guess Microsoft usually takes a little longer, and they have got plans for I guess a couple of more patches. So I would say let's get these patches in place and see what it's like then. You're not missing much right now because you're really not. And I hope the gameplay improves a lot in a lot of regards. But yeah, my advice is try and take a wait and see approach. They obviously know they got enough issues that they need 3 different patches. So let's see what we got here. And I'm going to, what do I want to do here? Let's stop the screen share. So now you just got me, because I've got the game up that I can show if we need to get into the game. Yeah, I think XXX Goblin says, if you're worried, Mike, just wait. You have to get on it. You don't have to get it on day one. Wait till you're comfortable with what the general comments are saying. I think that if you're not a diehard person who's got to have it right away, then I would say, yeah, definitely let's just wait and see. So, yeah. Adam Lauer says he hasn't bought Madden since 2012. That is holding a grudge, my friend. That is holding a grudge. It has so much potential, but needs to patch it. I hope private lobbies become because so many trolls. Okay. So let's talk about the private lobbies for a second. Okay. I want to show something. This is a screenshot that I got from a Facebook post, and this is obviously a PlayStation player, somebody who has already got the PlayStation patch, and I'm gonna have to do the screen share again. So give me a minute here. Okay, so let's look at this and let's do a screen share. And I'm going to share this screen and I'm going to see if I can blow this up. But what we are looking at here is, look at the top. This is somebody had this photo up on a Facebook group that I am, and it says by invite only. And that is obviously a PlayStation player. So it looks like they may have the private lobbies up sooner rather than later. Now, I'm not sure that the private lobbies, if it's going to be all that we hoped it's going to be. I'm afraid it might be one of these deals of, well, they gave it to us, but it's really not that great. So I'm not sure if you're going to be able to adjust race length, if you're going to be able to pick the track, or it's just going to be you and your friends still going through the same thing where you get a selection of 2 tracks. I'm not sure what all the features are going to be in it, but it looks like they've at least got the private lobby up, which is a big thing that people were complaining about. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to be fixed the way everybody wants. Yeah, Mike saying, I wonder how off track we're going to get with that. I would say there's a lot of potential, and I am here without adult supervision. I don't have simoleons or Zach or West or anybody. So the Fanatec wheel setup on PC, I have been told that the PC has like 35 different wheels that are available that you can use. So I would say it depends on what Fanatec you have. If you have that new CSL DD, it is such a new wheel that I am not sure that you're gonna get much out of it, because I don't know that they have anything for it, just because it is so new. So I'm not sure they're going to have anything, but you can probably find either a DD1 or DD2 or something like that for Fanatec, and just say that's what your wheel is, and it'll probably get you pretty close. Also, I am hearing, and this is great, this is the best of them all, the G29 is barely working. Yeah, and I'm curious, since you put this up here, does it have any force feedback at all? Because that's one of the things that we're talking about, is maybe the force feedback isn't working right. And the way they've got the game set up, and it actually says this if you go in and pick the steering wheel, it's only for driving the car. It's not for navigating the menus. And here I have actually got where you can see my Xbox if I do the screen share again. So actually, so here we go. So let's look at this. So this is important to understand. Okay, when we go over here and let's go to, I think it's the options, and go to controls. Okay, note that little comment right there. The steering wheel is used only for driving the car, not navigating the menus. So even if you have, that sounds like that is by design, that they're not going to fix that. That you're going to have a controller in your hand, okay? And you're going to have to use that to navigate through all the menus. Then you drive the car with the wheel, and then you navigate again whenever you're done driving or something, which seems like a huge pain. So the other thing that I'm finding out that I think is extremely poorly designed is, if you want to go onto pit road, okay, you have to hit the X button. Okay, so whether you're on a controller or wheel, you have to hit the X button to pull up the pit menu, and then you have to, while you're trying to drive, whether you're driving like this or driving like this, you got to use the D-pad to then navigate up and down while you're driving and make your pit road adjustments. So that is going to cause all kinds of wrecks and create all kinds of havoc when you have to drive the car and do the pit road adjustments while you're driving. I think it would work much better if they had it like Heat 5, where you just was able to put the car in the pits, and then you had the length of pit road, probably 15 or 20 seconds to go and make that change. But the comment about it's for driving commands and everything, I think that's by design. Okay, I don't know if that's gonna fix. And Mike is saying, I felt no, and it feels like driving a 5-ton truck. Is this only me? Well, I'll tell you what, I played it on Xbox, and I selected steering wheel, even though I don't have a Logitech, and I could control the car with wheel, but it felt like I was playing with one of those $80 wheels with no force feedback, because there was no force feedback at all, and it was not a very good experience to drive it like that. Adam, like, can you even pause the wheel? No, you can't even pause the game with the wheel. You can literally change gears. You can drive, steer the car. You can hit the brake and accelerator. You can't even pause the game with a wheel. That's it. Okay, now look, I have not heard anything substantial about this rumor, okay? That Heat 5. I have not heard that from any credible source at all. I've heard it just like this. It's a rumor. I am not really buying it until I hear it from a credible source. Now, that doesn't mean that we're not going to get it from a credible source tomorrow, but I think that would be not very. I think that's just going to piss off their customer base. I don't know that that's going to help the situation at all. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So keep in mind, they did shut down the Heat 5 servers once already by accident when they were trying to shut down the what was it, Heat 2 and Heat 3 servers. So I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but it might be by accident. But I have not heard that from a credible source. Okay. What else we got here is comments. After patch 1, the game crashes on me in practice and qualifying, so I just start a race and hope for the best. Okay, so Thomas, I assume you're a PlayStation guy since you're talking about the patch. Okay, it doesn't. Okay, so the best of them all again. It doesn't even bring up the option to pit. Okay, now I have experienced, I haven't been in a race long enough to have to pit, to be honest. Okay, but what I've been here seeing is, and I think this is another poor design feature, is you can't go to pit road during practice. So you can't go into practice and decide, I want to change my wedge, I want to change my track bar, I want to change my air pressure, because you can't pit, which is extremely poor design. That's what practice is for. So that is a design feature if you're talking about practice. Now, if it's a race, I can't really say. I'm not sure. So want to say something, because people are coming in here with a lot of their complaints and stuff, and well founded. I think that this has been a huge disappointment. I want to share a couple of things here if I can get to it. Let's see what we've got here. What else? There is a forum, okay? And if you haven't seen it, I've got a video up for it, okay? Where you can go and you can actually submit whatever you have as a bug or a fix change, something you want changed, whatever the case may be. And I'm going to pull it up here, okay? And let's see if I can show this on the screen now. Okay, so here we go. This is it, and I'm going to post this link in the comments here that you can go in. You don't have to sign in or create an account if you don't want to, and you click on the submit a request, and then you can submit the requests here. So let's just post this in the comments so everybody has it, and I'll just take you through the process here. I submitted several of these. You get emails back with what number you are, like it's like a ticketing system. So I think I started and I was like number 379, and by the time I stopped, I was like number 408. Okay. Jimmy Briggs saying, so you can't do practice setups? No, you cannot. Not right now, anyway. I'm hoping that they fix that. But if you are here and you want to, you just click submit a request, and it's going to ask for your email, and it's going to say, let's just say we're going to do this one because I don't think I have submitted this one. Can't pit during practice to make changes to your setup. Okay. Then ask you what platform you're on, or it gives you suggested articles, which we're going to skip. Pick your platform, and then frequency, we're going to say always, and pit stops are not an option during practice. This is essential for making adjustments to the car and fine tuning your setup for the race. I don't think I've submitted this already. Maybe I have. Okay. And you can even add a file. So if you've got a screenshot or a video, especially if you've got a bug or something like that, and then you just hit submit, and that's it. So you can go in and, but you need to be specific, because if you don't give them a specific item, they can't fix it. But there is a forum, and then here in a little bit, I'll probably get an email telling me what I've got as far as what number I am. But I posted a video on this and to make people aware of it. And I think like when I submitted, they were at like 418, and just a few hours after I put the video up, they were at like 750 or something. So they've got a lot of stuff to work through. But I will give them credit. At least they are giving us a forum. And here we go. Let's see if I can do this. I just got my email. So here is the email I got from 704 Game, or from Motorsport Games. Well, it's not showing. Hold on. Let me work on this. But it said I was number like 1803 or something. So lots of people are submitting stuff. So at least they're giving us a forum. Okay. So we'll see if how much this actually, they actually get fixed, but at least they're giving us a forum here to do this. Let's see, I still want to try to pull this up. Oh, okay, maybe that is it. Your request, so 1803. So they've got about 1,000 requests within the last basically 24 hours, or maybe a little bit longer. So they are, so we are definitely making our voices heard. Okay. What else we got here? Yeah, here's my comment is these guys are just doing this like they've never seen a NASCAR race. Okay. No stages. You can't make adjustments during practice. A racing game without a wheel. You can't use a wheel on. It's like, what were they thinking? I don't understand this. They have no stages. How do you even watch any NASCAR races? Let me ask you guys a question. One of the things that I have not quite figured out yet is there is an option, and let me see if I can show that here. Okay, so we have the option here for, oh, that's not it. Is it difficulty and assists? There is an option somewhere. Maybe I got to back out to the main menu here. That's the paint booth. There is an option called NASCAR Rules. Default view, HUD display, steering animation. Let me see if I can find it. AI, driving line, steering assist, spinner, co-track, transmission type. Daggone it, I can't get to it now. Where was it? But there is an option called, maybe it's when I go to Race Now. Yeah, the settings for Race Now, called NASCAR Rules, okay? NASCAR Rules off or on. If you have NASCAR Rules turned on, oh, thank you. There's real Matty Ice telling me. I just saw it. It's almost like it's restrictor plate rules. That's at least one of the rules. I don't know if that's all of them, where if you go below that white or yellow line at any track, not just Daytona or Talladega, you go below it at any track, you get black flagged, okay? I don't know what else it does, but if anybody's having a problem with that, you turn the NASCAR rules off and that goes away. I don't know what else is involved in NASCAR rules, and I don't know if anybody else can do that, but that's one thing that I've noticed is, yeah, you get a black flag for going below the white line if you are got the NASCAR rules turned on, okay? See, and Sav say you can turn assists off now, which is good. So let's go back and look at the assists. I will say I noticed one other thing that is different. If you are on a wheel and you're trying to run a wheel, okay, I couldn't get the thing into reverse. If you like, for some reason, a lot of times when you wreck, you wind up nose first against the wall and the car won't roll down the banking to allow you to get going, and you're stuck there, and I couldn't get it into reverse. So now what you have to do is, if you're using a wheel, use left and right you downshift to first gear. Once you're in first gear, now you grab both your shifter paddles, pull in together. That'll get you to neutral. Then you hit your downshift again, and when you get it to the downshift again, that is when it goes into reverse. So they do have the reverse now. If you're playing on a controller, it's just the regular downshift. It's not a problem. I am still, Sav is saying you can turn assists off now. This isn't updated, obviously, or maybe that's just a PlayStation fix. I still can't do it. I still can't do it. So, you get black flags with NASCAR. One of the things I don't know what you're doing to get the black flags. One thing I noticed that is, if you even start to go down the track or try to turn around and you're at all headed the wrong direction, it will give you a black flag. And I hope they fix that. Adam Lauer, I would rather give my ex more money than pay for a subpar product. At least she used to. Well, Adam, one could say you got screwed here, so I don't know. They say here is somebody, this must be a PlayStation player. Latest patch NASCAR rules have improved as far as the BS black flags below the line, but still doesn't have cautions work. Okay. So here is somebody else asking about the patch notes. So let's take, actually, I had that up here. That is, I think, let's see what we got here. The patch notes. Yeah, if you go to the same website that I put in the comments here, you can see their patch notes, and they have released day 1 patch notes and patch 2, and we can spend a few minutes on this. And I'm seeing a lot of people saying they asked for a refund and got it. Okay. So they have expanded from a G920 to the G29 and 920. Oh boy, now we got 2 wheels. Okay. And I'm not going to go through all of this, but there is, a lot of stuff that they fixed. Yeah, I'm looking at it, but a lot of it is not stuff that's a make or break thing. So, things like added additional number styles to the paint booth. Okay. That's not a make or break thing. Okay. So I'm hoping they're still working on getting some of this stuff, but I did not see where they added the private lobbies, but I didn't read every single one of these. Here's one thing that was a big one: increase the speed that players start the cross the start finish line at. When you went to qualify, it's almost like you were off the gas for a couple of seconds because it started you going from computer control to you control right at the start finish line, and it took a couple of seconds for it to kick in that you were giving it gas, and you'd lose like 10 miles an hour. So you were always starting at the back. Some of these things are very vague, but I hope it's a bigger deal than what it sounds when they say fixed an issue that was impacting on-track performance. But you can see this is a long list. So there were a lot of stuff here. Okay. A lot of stuff here. So I give them credit for that, but I'm not sure if they've got the big stuff fixed yet. And here is the patch 2 notes, but I am not sure when it's going to happen. PlayStation says they're already up to patch 2 today. Xbox is still saying to be determined. So here is the off steering assist with improved control pad feedback. That's good. But these are out here. It's the same basic link that I put up there, so you guys can follow that and find that there and go through that. But this looks like patch 2 is maybe some of the bigger stuff. That's where you can turn the steering assists off. You got better vibration from the controller as force feedback. Now it says right rear track bar instead of track bar, which I thought was odd that they just had track bar. So you got some good stuff here. Refined the low steering assist to make it more consistent. So, and here, fix a number of issues that resulted in general instability. So hopefully those are big deals. Okay. Hopefully those are big deals. And we'll just kind of have to see how it goes. So what else do we got here? Oh, I want to bring up a comment here that I just saw. Okay, so after second patch day on PS5, game is greatly improved, but still has a ways to go. The big, if I could have one thing to fix right now, I would want the wheels added in. Okay, I want to be able to play with my wheel. I want to be able to play with it with force feedback. I don't think that's really happening yet, but hopefully it's on its way. But that is encouraging from Dirty Death. They're saying that it's got a ways to go, but it's at least a decent game now. JP Kelly, okay, this is my point. No mirror, no track map. You got to change setup while driving. Who was at the meeting when someone said, no, we don't need a mirror? This is my big complaint right here, and you've captured it, okay? Everything you named there, that's not a bug. That's not a glitch. That is something functioning exactly as they intended it. So JP Kelly's got it right. Somebody sat here and said, no, we don't need a mirror. They intended to do it that way. That's not a bug fix. That's not an option where they forgot to say, oh, this is how you toggle the mirror on and off. They decided no mirror. Yes, yeah, that's exactly what happened, JP. They sat there and said, no, we don't need a mirror. That was an intentional thing, which is my big complaint. I just feel like I don't know who they're listening to. I don't know what kind of races they're watching, but I just feel like the overall theme is they have completely lost touch with the people that play the game. Okay. Um, so, yeah, Joseph Horvath. Mirrors sort of help in racing and car driving generally. Yeah, yeah, they do. They're pretty helpful. Um, I have not heard or seen anything about stage racing, so nobody's even mentioned it. So I'm not sure that that's really going to happen. Uh, Somebody saying little to no force feedback, then one reason, and then it disappeared. So we got inconsistent force feedback, and that's on PC. Okay. Oh, wait, that's not the right one. Bundy adding some humor here. They had a choice of 4 wheels or the mirror. They chose put 4 wheels instead of 3. I'm betting that the idea of 3 wheels versus 4 was a big debate among them. I bet they had a hard time fair. Um, do they not have? I have no idea what they have. I really don't, but it's definitely concerning. One thing I wanted to bring up here, okay? Motorsports Games is a publicly traded company, okay? So so they have investors to answer to. They are traded on Wall Street. You can look them up there, and I'm going to pull this up here and show this if I can. This is their stock, and this is it was down 4% today, down 57 cents to $13.58. It's gone from about $16 last Thursday, which is 6 days ago, and that's about the time they started having these guys doing the early releases and letting some of the YouTube content creators have the game early to start playing it. And that's about when they did that. And it was $16 then. Now it's $13.58. Now that's by my math, that is a give or take a 15% decline, which isn't catastrophic, but you would hope when you're releasing a new game that if it goes well, your stock goes up, not down. So it doesn't seem like Wall Street or the investors have been impressed with what they are seeing from the new game. They are probably being kinder about their outlook on the new game than we are because they're only showing a 15% decline in the stock. But yeah, these guys have investors. They have people to answer to, and 15% isn't the end of the world, but it's not insignificant either. So just wanted to put that up there and share that. So I wanted to keep the Xbox up there in case we need to go in and show something on Xbox. I don't want it to shut off from me being inattentive to it. So what else we got here that people want to talk about? No, I did not see this video from IDK Players with someone who was a beta tester for games, but I have seen comments from somebody who worked in, he called it QA, quality assurance. He said, at least the bigger gaming companies, they have people 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, doing nothing but trying to find and fix these things. And they said, it's not as an easy process. You have to find out what caused the bug, replicate it so that you can isolate it to see this is what does it and this is what happens every time. Whatever it is the problem, and then you have to go in and fix it. That it's not an easy process. So yeah, I have not seen that, but I don't think that it's an easy process to do this because you have to determine what it is, isolate it so you can see what it is every time, and then go in and try to fix it. So So anyway, these are some of the things that we wanted to talk about. I wanted to go over the patch notes. We've talked about that. I wanted to go over the reverse gear and how you get into reverse with a wheel. I wanted to go over how to submit a request, and do not overlook that. Okay, I will give them credit. They're at least making an effort to try to give us a chance to give feedback. So please take advantage of that, but you got to be specific. You got to say, this is what happened, whether it's at a specific track, a specific spot on the track, a specific incident or something. You can't just go in and say, this game is crap. You got to give them something that is specific enough that they can fix. So please submit a request, and it looks like a lot of people are doing that. We're up to, now I think mine was number 1800. I also got a comment back from, I get emails back from them occasionally, and one of them made a comment about, it looks like there are several tickets open under my name. And I'm like, well, you have several issues, okay? But I tried to give them something specific to look into with each one of them. But my overall sense here is, and this is a theme that I have been seeing, for a while, is, as I call it, they've lost touch with the people who play the games. Okay, there are probably at least 6 different Facebook groups that you can join that are all about the game. Okay, and I don't see anybody who is identifying themselves as a motorsports games employees in those groups, or participating in those groups, or looking at those groups to see what people say. Okay, if they did, the first thing they would see is people complaining about the wreckers that exist in public lobbies, and they would not have designed the game with only private lobbies. Okay, that's one of the first things. They would have also seen several posts about people talking about leagues, and they would have understood the importance of leagues and had private lobbies. And this is not something that I feel like they lost touch with the people who play the game in the last 6 months or 6 weeks. Okay, go back to the Summer Showdown series, which, if you don't know what that was a series of races where you could go in and they took the top 24 qualifiers. So it was like, say, an online race that you had to go into your online race, and you'd pick it as a Summer Showdown. And it was a specific track, a specific tire, a specific race length, and you got to record your best time in that race compared to everybody else. And the top 24 got an invitation to go in a special race that was televised and everything. And here's my point: they did 4 of those this summer. Every single one of them, every one, was a fuel saving race. Okay, so they set every one of them up that you had to get the best time in your overall race. You had to find a way to cut one pit stop out of what your normal gas mileage would be. That's how you got in. Okay, to do that, one, you had to be very good with custom setups, which not everybody is. 2, you had to have a clutch. Okay, because what you can do is, if you have a clutch, and I don't have one, but I know how it works, is when you go into the turn, you hit the clutch, and basically the car's in neutral, so your engine RPM drops to about 3,000 RPMs. Then when you're ready to get back into gas, you disengage your clutch pedal, and your RPMs pick up. You save tremendous amounts of fuel that way. Okay, now, not everybody has a wheel to begin with. Okay, it's probably a fair minority of players that even have a wheel. And then when you take that group, and now it's down to just the people that have clutches, you have basically excluded probably 99% of your players from having any realistic chance of qualifying for these Summer Showdowns. Okay, and they did this not once, they did it every single race. Okay, I understand do it once to put some creativity into it, but they did it every single race. It's like, did they not understand what they were doing? Did they not know how the people that were qualifying were making it? Did they not understand it? But it was not a contest to say who was the fastest over 40 laps at Atlanta or whatever. It was who could run the fastest times while saving the most fuel. And to do that, you had to have a clutch. And I'm not disparaging the guys that qualified. The guys that qualified for it were extremely fast. They would have probably got in if it was just pure speed anyway. But give everybody a chance to measure themselves against the best to see who they are, okay, and how they measure up instead of turning this um, into a fuel saving thing. So okay, so we have a troll. Imagine wasting your life on setups. Grow up. Wow. Hey, imagine wasting your life watching somebody do a video about setups. So I think that makes you even more pathetic. So, but thank you for tuning in anyway, Mr. Movement Troll. So thanks a lot. So anyway, um, good points about the game. I've seen some incredible paint schemes. Incredible paint schemes. So this paint booth is, I think, living up to the hype and living up to the expectations. But definitely, that is a good point. And I have seen some great throwbacks. I've seen some Matt Kinza throwbacks, and I've seen the City Chevrolet from Days of Thunder. I've seen some incredible throwbacks. I do think if you're trying to come up with good things about the game, the paint booth definitely qualifies. The paint booth definitely qualifies as a good thing, and I think it's probably something that meets or maybe even exceeds the expectations. And I know that's something people wanted. So, one of the things I think people are going to spend a lot of time over the first few days of the game is building their custom paint schemes and waiting on the game to be playable. So, anyway, and oh, by the way, movement. Let's just see what we have to say. Wasting your life on the. Just so you know, okay, I have not spent my life on setups, okay? I got an education. I graduated from college with a degree in accounting. I'm a CPA. I don't live in my mom's basement, I graduated college, got a professional degree, got a professional certification. So no, I'm not wasting my life on setups. I've accomplished a few things in my life, which I'm guessing is that right here, having your comment played and displayed on a YouTube live video, I'm guessing that's your number one accomplishment in life. I'm guessing that's your big moment. So congratulations. Glad I could be a part of it for you. Yeah, see, yeah, here we go. Look, I made someone look at me. Exactly. Oh, that's one of the nice things about this is I can decide what comments I show and what I don't, and I can say what I want. Nobody's hearing what he says. Oh yeah. So, has anybody played the road courses in the game? I have not heard a lot of comments about road courses, and I don't know if anybody's even tried them or not, but I'm wondering if you can tell much of a difference in the physics on the road courses compared to what we had before. So if anybody's played the road courses, give me some feedback on these road courses. I'm also hearing that some of the people have made posts on different Facebook groups talking about that, once the patch came out and they were able to play, that they thought the physics were very good. So that's interesting. I went out and actually took my PC and got the what is the RF2 or R Factor 2 game just to be able to see what the physics were like and try to get prepared for it. And I was really impressed when I played it on Steam. I think it's R Factor 2 or RF2 is the name of the game. So when I played that, it was really, I was impressed with the physics. So I'm hoping that when they get this stuff worked out, we've got a game with really good physics. So Real Radman Diddy said, if I have a wheel to take off the steering assist. Well, now that we have that, we can do that. I've also heard we're back to the thing that the AI basically comes to a stop on the first turn at road courses. So it's not just the first turn, Kelly. It's like all of them, huh? That's interesting. So here's somebody saying, just ran a race long enough to pit. The pit option is kind of hard, but it's better. And the spotter tells you in 5 laps left of gas. So yeah, we still wish we had a tire wear gauge. That would be great. That would be much better. That I really wish we had all the same visibility as far as, the leaderboard doesn't look great to me either, because you can't see your distance to the leader. So you might be running 10th and you could be gaining on the leader or losing, you don't know. So I wish they had that. I wish they had the stuff that gave you the fuel wear and the tire wear. I wish they had all of those things. Those were great features of Heat 5. I'm not really sure why they got rid of those things. What's the track? I have not done hardly any track. I tried Vegas just because I thought Vegas was a nice, wide, easy track, and I ran Vegas. And I'll be first to tell you, I am awful on a controller. But even on a controller, I could basically, I think, with a little practice, run Vegas wide open. But I haven't tried Bristol. I haven't tried Bristol Dirt. I haven't tried any road courses. I'm really kind of waiting to see what this looks like once we get the physics right and all the glitches fixed. Saf saying we should go back to Heat Evolution. That's interesting. So, um, so, uh, so I am hoping that this stuff gets fixed, but they have got a long road ahead of them, is my concern. Okay, so yeah, Adam, there's no tire wear gauge. So anything that you saw hitting the A or B button, you really can't see. When you hit the A button and you can see the distance to the 2 cars ahead of you and 2 cars behind you, you've kind of got that, but that's it. But you don't have a track map, so you can't see the leader. And when you hit the A button and it shows your distance to the leader, you don't get that at all. So yeah, those things are gone, as is the track map, as is the rear view mirror. I am not sure how the draft works. I really haven't done a lot of super speedways, but you used to get the little down the corner that would light up blue and say draft when you were in the draft. I know that when you get a car behind you, at some point, you'll see a couple little arrows. You'll see, like, if it's the number 6 car behind you, you'll see 6. And then when they get closer, you get, I think, 1 arrow, then 2 arrows. And I'm not sure if that's a signal that they are in your draft or not, but I haven't seen anything, like light up that says draft. So that may be something else that is missing. So, so anybody got anything as far as things they have played in the game or seen in the game that they are impressed with or they really like? Yeah, I'm waiting on Fanatec too, because the controller is not a good time for me either. As I always say, I drive like a drunk Stevie Wonder when I am on the controller. It is I'm just awful on that. Are they contracted to put out a new game next year? I don't really know. I have heard that unconfirmed things have said that NASCAR was rushing them to get it out, which that's unconfirmed. And I've heard about a game next year, but I don't know if they are contracted to do so or they've just got a license that runs so long for the using the NASCAR franchise, and maybe they want to get out as many games as they can while they have that license. But I'm not sure about when they will be coming out with a new game. Yeah, I've heard a lot of things that says Thrustmaster not supported, but could be in one of the patches. Here's the thing that gives me the most hope about these wheels. Okay, the guys that are on PC, if anybody's on PC, they can tell you that the PC gives you an option of, like, I think 35 different wheels to pick from. So if they've got that in the PC version, I am hoping that it's not that big of a deal to get it into the Xbox, because that at least tells me they know how to do it. Okay. So Sav's saying they're contractual to have a game every year. Okay. Well, they were kind of getting towards the end of the year, releasing this on the end of October. The soundtrack. Don't get me started on the soundtrack. I forgot to mute the music in my videos, the first couple videos I did, and I had like 15 copyright claims because I didn't mute the music. It is better, but I got it all muted now because I got tired of having the copyright claims on my videos. So yeah, I think I made Leonard Skinner a lot of money because my videos the monetization went to the owner of the copyright. So I think I made some of those artists a couple of bucks this week. So, but yeah, I do like it better, but I got to turn it off. Oh, so. Mike Hora is saying, I'm wondering if it's going to be like NASCAR 14, where the next game is just going to be an expansion pack. I don't know. At this point, I'm not sure I'm going to buy the next game until I see it come out. Okay. Because I went out and did the pre-order thing for this and everything, thinking it was going to be great. And man, people, it seems like there's a couple of camps. There's people who are just losing their mind over this because it is such a disappointment. And there are people saying, you need to stop complaining. I swear, most of the people that I've seen that are in the you need to stop complaining group, they haven't owned the game. They haven't played it. That I think that most of them would be much more understanding of why we're upset if they had the game and saw the depth and severity of the issues with the game. And I got a question for you guys, because I don't play a lot of different games. Compare this launch to other launches, okay, of other new franchise games. Have they been this problematic when they came out? I remember hearing that I think Fallout 76 was pretty bad when it came out. And, you got other people saying, oh, well, Heat 4 had all these problems. No, when Heat 5 had these problems when it came out. No, it didn't. When Heat 5 came out, you had green rims, okay? Everybody had green rims no matter what you did. And you had this issue where, like, your car was here and your front tires were like 6 feet in front of your car at times. Those were the two big issues that they had in Heat 5. They didn't have this kind of stuff, so yeah, Goblin, I'm with you. I was disappointed in this too. I was disappointed in this. I was about to the point that I was trying to. I said, you know what? Maybe it's time to go back into iRacing, because I tried iRacing, and I'm the only person in the world, I think, that doesn't like iRacing. But I played iRacing, and the problem is, when you start off in iRacing, you start off like rookie class, and then you go to D, C, B, A. When you're down here where I'm at in the rookie and the D class, it's like public lobbies, okay? And you got to somehow run enough races there and avoid enough wrecks there to get moved up. And it's frustrating because I haven't been able to do that. Maybe the game gets better when you race against a better class of drivers, but right now I am just like, this is ridiculous. If I wanted to get beat around like this, I'd go into a public lobby in Heat 5. JP Kelly saying there is no comparison been sim racing since late. Yes, there's no game that he's seen has had a launch this bad. Mike Horace says it's a lot like the launch for GT Sport. Came out as a completely boasting piece of crap and was bleeding total hobble job for the first 3 months. There is Fallout 76 and Cyberpunk, and the comment above that was about Cyberpunk. So it sounds like this is top 3 as far as problems with launches. So, you know what? If you figure out iRacing and how to manage to get through the rookie and the D class to where you're not getting the crap beat out of you every race, let me know, because I'd like I'd really like to get to the point where I could enjoy racing it, but I've made multiple attempts and said, I'm going to go do this. And every time it ends the same way. And I'm like, I was in a race this afternoon trying it, and I got somebody absolutely sent it into the turn. And it's like, you wait 20 minutes and go through all this practice to get into a race. Then you go in, and on like lap 2, somebody goes full send and crashes you. And then your race is basically done because your car's tore up. So I'm like, this is crazy. So best of luck to you, best of them all. I hope it works out better for you, but I'm like the only person on the planet that hasn't enjoyed iRacing. So anyway, we are at 9:56. My plan was to devote about an hour to this. We've talked about a lot. I've seen a lot of great comments. I've seen one troll. But anybody got anything else they want to ask questions about or see? I am hoping that the fact that I want to pull up this one more time, I think. Okay. The patch, okay, so they have already got one patch out. Apparently they got another one ready because they've got patch notes for it. Okay. So the fact that we're not even to the official launch date and they've got 2 patches, I guess that means they're making progress. If you want to look at it optimistically, you say they're making progress. Pessimistically, you say, why do you need 2 patches before you're at the official launch date? So you know, it's glass half full or glass half empty. I was excited about the game. I hope it's salvageable. I hope that if nothing else, they've learned some things from this, and they can try listening to the players more and understanding what NASCAR racing is all about. So maybe there is a silver lining to this, that this is a wake-up call to them. So one more thing. I noticed when you wreck, holy cow, I about get dizzy because it's like the physics for the wreck are just take your car and spin it around about 15 times. So I'm like, holy cow, just sitting here looking at the screen when there is a wreck, it's like I feel like I'm getting off a roller coaster or something. So Rich keeps saying, strange how they were able to fix so many fixes ready so quick. I don't think I've seen a game that I don't play a lot of different games. I play like 3 or 4 games, so I don't have a lot of experience to draw on with, completely new design of a game being built. But yeah, it sure seems like this one was kind of pretty bad. Yeah, they've lost a lot of trust with me. I am not going to be so eager to go buy the next game just because I've lost a lot of trust with them. A lot of trust. And, one of the other things is 6 months ago, I was emailing Motorsports Games telling them who I was, about my YouTube channel, about what I had, and telling them, I'd be happy to help them with anything they could to help develop and promote the game. And I couldn't even get a response from them. I emailed them multiple times and couldn't even get a response from them. And I'm shocked that they would have been so busy 6 months ago that they couldn't even bother to respond to me. But I'm hoping to take this wake call and start getting more in touch with the people who are playing the game so they can learn from it. So yeah, it's like group therapy. Yeah. Yeah, but I feel like all of us should be like, if we're admitting we bought the game, we should be like having bags over our heads, like we're so ashamed we don't want anybody to know our identity. So yeah, so but I intended to spend about an hour on this. We're kind of all in this together, for better or worse, and right now it's for worse. But I hope that if you can take nothing else away from this, at least take away from it this whole thing here where you can submit the requests and give them the feedback and tell them about the things that need fixed. If we got nothing else accomplished, I hope everybody knows that, so we can at least, and I'm not saying just send them bitch emails where you say your game's broken or I want a refund, but tell them the specifics that are there so that they can fix it. So that is if we got nothing else accomplished today, I hope that you guys can take away that, and I hope you take advantage of it. So with that, I think I am about all talked out, and I am going to sign off here. And maybe we get a couple of more patches out. I will do some kind of a live thing where I actually do some gameplay if I think it gets good enough and I can use a wheel and drive good enough and kind of show you what it looks like after a couple of patches. But thank you guys all for tuning in. I appreciate it, and I hope that if nothing else, we at least felt like we're in this together a little bit. So. With that, I am going to say good night to you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it. And maybe next time we do this, we'll be celebrating some kind of good news. But that's all I got. See you guys later. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great evening.